Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television. A quick reminder of our top stories now. Christmas celebrations holds around the world. Leaders including Pope Francis I and Queen Elizabeth II appeal for peace in war-torn zones. An extension of goodwill to all. Christians in Nigeria celebrate Christmas as clerics and leaders call for peace, love and unity in the spirit of the season. President Muhammadu Buhari, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and APC National Chairman Oshiomhole performed Christmas song in a three-man choir. And British Coast Guard rescues 13 people believed to be migrants from a boat in the English Channel off the coast of Kent. ChannelsTV.com has more information for you, and on youtube.com/channelsweb you can watch our videos. You can also watch us on your mobile device via your browser. Download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. Besides giving you access to news and updates on the go, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app have an Eyewitness feature that you can use to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. Well, here are some pictures that you sent to our Eyewitness portal. And first, we look at this one from an office which our Eyewitness says is the new car park office at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. He's disturbed, though, by the sight of mutilated notes still being given to customers. He advises Nigerians to respect the naira by handling it properly. Next shot was taken at a protest at the Okota office of the Ikeja Electric in Lagos, where a protester bearing this placard calls on the Ikeja Electric to look into the issue of metering and estimated bills. Our Eyewitness reporter says that this issue of metering should be resolved as soon as possible to save Nigerians from exploitation. And finally, from Akure in Ondo State comes the Christmas greeting from this Eyewitness, which is partner. He wishes everyone Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We do sincerely thank you for sending in these pictures, as we ask that you keep them coming. And guess who's been showcasing their singing talents, especially during this festive period? Well, it's none other than the President, Muhammadu Buhari, his Vice, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and of course the APC National Chairman Oshiomhole in a three-man choir, rendering a popular Christmas song. Check this out.
Wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Wow.
Well, still in the spirit of Christmas, that was indeed the President, the Vice President and the APC National Chairman, Oshiomhole, was still in the spirit of Christmas. We are now being joined, as promised, by Pastor Oyemade, who is the Senior Pastor of the Covenant Christian Church. I want to thank you so much indeed. He joins us via Skype. Pastor, we have been looking at the essence of Christmas lately, especially as this is indeed the time and the season. But what do you think is the significance about this year's celebration?
Well, first of all, I will use an analogy I learned from the great Billy Graham to explain the essence of Christmas, and which has to do with the birth and the entrance of Christ into the earth. And the way in which he described it was that it's like an ant is lost in a maze and trying to find its way out. And you as a human being, which is much bigger, much intelligent than the ant, now is trying to help that ant to get out of the maze. But what you realize is every time you put your finger to try to guide it out of it, it gets scared about the size of your finger. And that's the relationship between God and man. In other words, God looks at man and sees he has lost his way on the earth and trying to help him by using his hand to try to navigate his way through. He finds out every time he puts his finger in, man gets scared and so decides to run away from him. So he says, the only way I can do this is to become an ant. And God says is to become a man. and then get into the maze of life with man, and then, like an ant gets in and now shows the other ant the way out and follows the one which is lost, now follows that particular ant and finds its way out. So that's the essence of Christmas, the entrance of God into humanity in order to guide the affairs of man correctly.
Now, this celebration is coming barely 2 months to the general elections in 2019. What message do you have for, on the one hand, the politicians themselves and those who will be going to the polls to elect those leaders that will lead from 2019? What message do you have for them?
All right. Christ has a very powerful message for leadership. The Bible says the government shall be on his shoulders, and of the increase of the government and of the peace there is no end. So the message of Christmas to leadership is about peace, and the nation building is different from state building. When you talk about nation building, you are taking the different parts of a nation and bringing it into one cohesive unit. And then state deals with the building of infrastructure, roads, and all of that. And in order to be able to succeed at building a state, you must first of all build a nation, which means every single part of the nation must feel a part of the whole. Then they're able to contribute their intelligence. And the key to that is before you can have peace, you must have justice. Every single part of the nation must feel that they are being treated fairly and with equity, and so they can come to the table and we can have a nation. So for leadership, it's about being fair and being just with the various groups that form this country, Nigeria. And then also for the citizens who are going into election, they must understand that, like a lot of the clerics have been saying, they should not sell their birthright for a morsel of meat. They should elect the people that they feel are able to take this nation forward, whether it's at the local level, at the state level, or at the federal level.
Are you concerned, though, when you see clergymen, pastors, if you will, hobnob with politicians? It seems to be the order of the day in the recent past. Is there anything wrong with that?
Let me tell you one thing I'm not going to do. I'm not going to come and criticize pastors publicly. I won't do that. If I feel there's anything wrong with anybody who is in the ministry, I think we have our structures and channels for them to correct the people. However, in terms of association, I cannot say somebody is wrong because he is found to be associating. However, it is important. This is what is important. It is important that no form of monetary inducement, all right, is done, because it is the giving of the gifts that blinds people and affects your sense of judgment. So, provided there is no exchange of material things in terms of your association, it's fine. But if I'm not aware of that, I can't come publicly and speak against or criticize that.
It's at that point that I must thank you so much indeed for talking to us here on the News at 10 on Channels Television. Pastor Bojo Oyemade, the senior pastor of the Covenant Christian Church. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you so much.
All right, you're watching the News at 10 on Channels Television, reaching you live from Lagos. Let's quickly switch over to our Abuja studios now, where Ibrahim Adra is standing by to take us through. Ibrahim.
Merry Christmas to you, Gimba. Now, here in the nation's capital, President Muhammadu Buhari says he's soon to embark on an aggressive campaign towards the 2019 presidential election. He says the party will begin its campaign by visiting each of the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. The president spoke when he received the Federal Capital Territory community, which paid a Christmas homage on him at the Aso Villa. As is customary, residents of the Federal Capital Territory are in the State House to pay homage on President Buhari. The delegation, led by the Minister of the Capital City, comprises community and religious leaders. The president is delighted by the visit, urging the people to repose confidence in his administration. During the interaction, the president gave insight into his party's plans.
We are watching INEC very seriously, and we are going out very soon to start going geopolitical zone by geopolitical zone, to mention to the people and remind them our promises in 2015. Three fundamental things.
The president insists the 3 items he campaigned on in 2015 are still relevant and will form the basis of his campaign this time around.
People have to be arrested. I'm sure IG is listening. And then prosecuted, taken to court, and then with evidence, we will collect back what they have taken illegally. And now, for doing that, people are calling me Baba Go Slow. I'm going slow, but whatever the case, I will not stop pointing fingers to those who have illegally taken or abused trust.
The FCT minister said President Buhari has done well and the people are happy.
By the grace of God, we are solidly behind you, and by the grace of God, we look forward to you spending another 4 years here so that you can truly make Abuja the city of our dream.
Your Excellency,
The primate of the Anglican Communion draws attention to the spirit of unity among followers of different religions in the FCT.
as religious leaders, our concern is religious harmony. We have tried to work on it day and night to ensure that East, West, North, and South, we are together.
Merry Christmas, sir, and Happy New Year.
President Buhari had earlier in his statement greeted Christians in the country on the occasion of Christmas, urging them to embrace reconciliation, forgiveness, and peace that Jesus Christ embodies and conveys. And time for a short break now, but when the news at 10 returns, Federal Inland Revenue Service plans to take over properties of companies yet to remit their tax returns. That'll be on Business News. Do join us again.